Welcome to Yeshiva Daf sponsor Nishmas Aram Yakashol Nav Sitzchok. We're holding in Shavuos Daf Chavtes. We're starting in the Mishnah and Mudalef. So the Mishnah. Ezui Shavuos Shav. What is the Shavuos Shav? Shav. It's not a sheker. It's a shav. Nishbal l'sham nois esayo yadua la'odom. He says, as we saw earlier in the Masechto, he says it's changing something which is known to the people know it's not true. For example, he says in a pillow which is made out of stone, it's made out of gold. This obviously, this is a previous generation assessment, but he said it's someone who's clearly a man, he says a woman, and vice versa. Or he says something that is a shvur, cannot be. For example, I saw a camel flying in the air. Camels don't fly. Now that I didn't see a snake in the size of the beam of Beis Sabat, the very large beam, we'll see in the Gemara, that they pressed with the olives in Beis Sabat. He didn't see these things. Tells Eidim, come testify for me. They said, Shvuah, no, we're not going to be made. So, Nishbo, so that Shvuah is what? He's doing a Shvuah against a mitzvah. They have a mitzvah to do a Shvuah. Right? They have a mitzvah to do a Shvuah. They say, we're not going to do a Shvuah, so you're doing Shvuah against the Torah. So you can't do that Shvuah. And the Mishnah continues with these examples against the mitzvah. Nishba levatel sa mitzvah. Shaloi la'aseh sukkah. V'shaloi litol lulav. Shlo yaniach tefillin. It's not going to build a sukkah. Won't take lulav. Won't take tefillin. So Yeshua shav shechavim l'zdei makos. There's gagos a passer. That's all potter. That's all part of Yeshua shav. He gets malchus on the zadoin, and on the shgaga there's no carbon. Now here we have the idea of nishba levatel mitzvah. We show you have an argument. What about nishba levatel mitzvah derabbanan? Person who said a shvuah, I'm not going to do mitzvah derabbanan. So it's a machlekes. They believe the Rosh and the Ravid. The one sheet holds that he did a shvuah levatel mitzvah derabbanan, so it's a mitzvah derabbanan. It's not mitzvah deraisa. The shvuah is deraisa. So the shvuah deraisa proves the derabbanan. And the second man Shrishan holds that because with derabbanan we have a din of loy sasur, so it's based on the Torah. So even though the specific mitzvah is the derabbanan, but the concept is to listen to the deraisa, so you can't go against the derabbanan. Look at Rishon, and a lot of details in the Achronim about that. Shvuah shoychel kikazu. Person says, Shvuah, I'm going to eat this bread. Shvuah shaloyach leno. And then he says, Shvuah, I won't eat it. So Tez when he points out that why do we have a difference here between oichel and ochleno? You should have used the same lashon. Adrab, it may cause us a problem based on what we learned 2 days ago, that oichel means even a little bit and ochleno means the whole thing. Right? Because here he said, Shvuah shaloyach means I'm not going to eat even a little piece. Shaloyach leno means that I won't eat the entire thing. So is it a steer or not? Right now, the way the Mishnah understands is lav dafka, and it means is he's contradicting himself. One guy says I won't eat, I will eat it. Another Indian says not going to eat it. So he's contradicting himself. Harishayno shuas bitui shniya shuas shav. Why? The first shuas is shuas bitui, regular shua. I said I will eat the bread, so he has to eat the bread. The second one is going against the shua. Once he did a shua to eat it, now he's mechuyim in the deraisa to eat it. Now you can't do a shvuah not to eat it. It's like a shvuah against the Torah. So I can't do a shvuah not to put a tefillin. I can't do a shvuah not to keep a shvuah. So shalach lem is a shvuah shav. Ochlo, if he ate it.
Shvuah shav is shav. Shvuah shav is doing something that's not emes. So what's the shogig? He didn't know.
He made a mistake. Yeah.
So we learned before if somebody does something that he first believes in,
but
you believe that you're potter.
Right,
but saying something because you believed it to be true at the time. So what's Pshat Shaygig at that time?
I hear. How will be the Shaygig over there? I mean, no, I don't know. Good question. Good hour to think about it. Now let's check it out. Okay, get back to the Heder. Now, Achlo, if he ate the bread, or about Shavuos Shav. What's all about Shavuos Shav? So as we'll see in the Gemara, he's not worried about Shavuos Shav once he eats it. Even if he didn't eat it, he was over Shavuos Shav. Because the minute he said a Shavuos that he can't keep is a Shavuos Shav. So the second Shavuos says, I'm not going to eat the bread. You said you're going to eat the bread. You can't go against it. So the minute he said the words, I'm not going to eat it, he gets Malchus. Right away. So what does it mean? Over Shavuos Shav is over Shavuos Shav only. Meaning, Shavuos Shav is what he has in his account. Not now when he eats it, he's over Shavuos Shav. If he ate it, so what he has on his account is Shavuos Shav from the fact that he lied. Lo yochlo, if he didn't eat it, over Shavuos Bitui. Then he's over Shavuos Bitui, meaning in addition to Shavuos Shav, he's also over Shavuos Bitui that he said he's going to eat it, and he did not eat it. When I get to Shavuos. Says what it says that it's something Yadul La'od means that three people know it. And if three people don't know it, it's something only, someone who's an expert knows. It needs to be something which is famous. Three people know it, and clear. It's very clear for them. This is a stone, not gold. Three people know it. That means Yadul La'od. Nishba do shiv shaloim lo iti go prach ba'avir. It's our camel flying in the air. So the Shavuos Shreisi leKolma. My im lo reisi. What does it mean Shavuos im lo reisi? Shavuos means usually Shavuos means I'm doing a Shavuos, giving an oath that I did or that I will. What is a Shavuos that I did not see? No, he means to say Shavuos that I did see, and that's exactly that cannot be. It's a condition. If I did not see, I'm not going to be able to eat any fruits because I don't believe you saw such a thing. You didn't see a camel flying, so therefore you cannot eat. It's not possible for you not to eat on Paris Shavuos. So therefore, it's over on the Shavuos. So 1 second. Maybe this guy saw a large bird, and he called it camel. So I saw a camel flying. It was not a camel. It was a big bird. So I called it camel. That's the name he gave the bird. He said, I saw a camel, and that's the camel. He's doing a Shavuos based on that's what Yeshua mentioned before. That's like Gabi Shavuos Shavuos Seyadua. Here we're talking about the person that said a Shavuos, which is a lie. So what's a lie? He said, I saw a camel fly. Yeah, I did. I saw this bird, I called it a camel. And that's on basis when he thinks. Maybe you tell me, you go based on what he's saying, not based on what he's thinking, which is now what we learned earlier. We learned earlier is when a person can come and define based on his machshava what he means. When you give him a Shavuos, heavy your day, you should know. We give a Shavuos, you tell him, you should know we're not doing the Shavuos based on what you're thinking. We're doing the Shavuos based on what we're thinking. That's the Shavuos, that's the condition. You're doing a Shavuos based on our das. My time, maybe this when he's doing a Shavuos, talk about Shavuos moment. Person comes and says, Reuben comes and tells Shimon, I gave you money. Shimon says, I gave you back. I gave you the money back. I gave you money back. So he says, do a Shavuos. Shavuos, I gave you money back. So maybe what he gave him back was a piece of wood, small piece of wood, and he called the money. So that's what I have to tell him, Shavuos datenu, no das. Much if I don't tell him these words, he can say, Shavuos on basis of what my das is. So we'll learn. Also, Mishu Kanya the Rova. Here is the story of Kanya the Rova that we learned in Mesechus Nidar. What's the story of Kanya the Rova? Someone came to Beis. Reuben told Shimon, you owe me money. Shimon says, I don't owe you money. He says, you do. Because let's go to Beis. I want you to do a Shavuos that you owe me money. So he comes to Beis with a cane. And Shimon gives Reuben, tells Reuben, do me a favor, hold him to the king. Holds to the king, thank you. Please do a Shavuos that you gave him the money. Shavuos, I gave him the money. And then he took the cane back and left. What happened? The cane had money inside. So he gave him the cane, gave him the money. So the Shavuos is not a sheker. He gave him the money. He actually gave him the money. But he was tricking him because he gave him the money, but in a way that he's going to get it back. Right? So that's not this. He actually said the full truth. Did he give the money? Yes. He did it in a deceiving way that he's going to take it away, but he actually said the truth. So it could be, says the Gemara, that's not all right. It could be that when a person says something, he means what he says. You can't say, oh, I meant something else. I call pieces of wood money. That's ridiculous. But maybe he's giving, he actually did give the money, but he gave it and hid it away. That's what he sell that thing. So the Toshma, וכן מצינו כשהשביע מוישה את ישראל, אומר להם, דעו שלא על דייסכם אני משביע אסכם. Moshe better tell the Am Yisrael, doing your shvuah, that you are going to do the bris with the Kodesh Baruch Hu, but it's not the shvuah based on what you're thinking, it's based on what I'm thinking. Al das HaMokah v'al daisi. Das HaKodesh Baruch Hu and my das. V'yamai, Lemelu, Kaimu, my Domer, Loiko. Why does he have to do that? Why do you have to do a new al daisi? Just tell him you do what HaKodesh Baruch Hu told you to do. That's the shvuah. Elamah, Lami Shul Damaskeh, that there with his kachon. Because if he's going to say, do what a God told you to do, they'll say, yeah, we call Chalila for the Zohar God. So, we said, yeah, we're going to do what God tells us to do, meaning of the Zohar. So you see, a person can think in his mind, but he gives a name to something else. The Zohar is called God. Clearly, the Torah calls it Eloy. So meaning what? Don't tell me that with the Zohar, he changed the name. That's the actual name. That's why Moshe Rabbeinu can't do it. Can't tell him just listen to it to God, because the Zohar is also called Eloya, which is the name of God. Why don't Moshe just say keep the Torah? Why does it say Al Daiti? It says more Chad Torah because it's only one Torah. We have two Torahs. Torah Shebachtav, Torah Shebalpeh. Let me say do Torahs. I'll tell you why. If they say yes, maybe they mean Torah Chatas, Torah Lashon. They mean every carbon has its own Torah. It's not a full Torah. So well, maybe Kaim Kula Torah Kula, entire Torah. It's Kachavim. The one man Chamor is Kachavim. She called a Krivi Bok and Moed Bukal Torah Kula. But the Zohar is considered to be like Kol Torah Kula. So if he says keep the Torah, okay, keep the Torah means I'll keep it. I won't do over the Zohar. Other things I won't keep. V'leimelu Kaim Mitzvah. Do a mitzvah. Chada mitzvah. That's only one mitzvah. Kaimu mitzvahs, say keep the mitzvahs. 30. Maybe it's only two mitzvahs. Kaimu kola mitzvahs, maybe all the mitzvahs. Kula mitzvah tzitzis. That can be tzitzis, don't mind. Kula mitzvah tzitzis, can I kola mitzvahs kula? Tzitzis, can I kola mitzvahs? Rashi brings over here that because the gematria is 600, that's tzitzis, this is 600. Right? Tzadik Yud, and Tov. That's 600. And then you have Shmoy Nechutim, 8 strings, and Chamisha Ksharim, and 5 knots. Very good, Gimel. So that's 613. So just say, be very clear, keep all 630 mitzvahs. So you know what I have a different question. Why would you have to say, I'm doing a my das, a das HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Das HaMokah. Just say, Al Daisi. So what the Chotes will base, the reason he said, not because they may come to trick the system or whatever, but he wants to do Al Daisi, das HaMokah for it to be Neidish Uda Al Das Rabbi. Das Rabbi HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Moshe Rabbeinu considered to be Rabbi. And therefore you don't have a far, you can be revoked, the Shvuah. That's why you would say it works. Okay, Jay says over here, even though he's only 2, but here Kishbuchu is enough to be the full rabbi. Says the Gemara, V'im loy reisi nochash kurs b'savat. Then he said something exaggeration. In that he said something can't be a big snake the size of kurs b'savat. Says the Gemara, V'loy v'ayida v'b'shnei shvur malko. Something in the years of Shumako, the king of Persia, he was so big, he was able to hold in him 13 areas, 13 urvoi susi, 13 places we put the horses. It's over English. 2 stables. With full of tevin. What's Rashi was telling them? They wanted to kill it. So what they did is they had the 13 urvos full of animals and straw, and they put fire in it. So once they ate it, it burned the snake from the inside. Torah means it has some cracks in its skin. So they all have it. Rashi explains all of the snakes have cracks in the neck, and he has cracks in the back exactly what it means, but it's something they cannot be. So therefore, when he said it as an exaggeration, it doesn't really mean it. I mean, it's a Shavuos Shabbat. Shavuos Shabbat, Shavuos Shabbat. When the end of the Mishnah says that if he did eat it, he's chayav because of bitui. He's not chayav because of Shav. Why not? He said a shvur that he cannot fulfill. The minute he said a lie, the minute he said Shavuos Shabbat, it's over. Says the Gemara, that's what we mentioned in the Mishnah. It's chayav and Shavuos bitui as well. Shavuos bitui, he's always chayav and Shavuos Shabbat. Maybe Shavuos bitui as well. Okay, let's look at the Mishnah. Shavuos bitui noeges, as Rashi points out, the following Mishnah is really akdama to the next pair. Because the next pair we're going to learn about Shavuos Eidus. Shavuos Eidus is not knowing everybody, it's only someone who's kosher Eidus. Someone's not kosher Eidus. Not. So we have people that are excluded. But Shavuos bitui doesn't have the limitations. So therefore it says the whole list. Shavuos bitui noeges ba noshim uvanoshim, man and woman. Relatives, not relatives. Beksherim upsulim, kosher Eidus, possible Eidus. Bivnei Bezdin, v'shaloi bivnei Bezdin. It could be Sai and Bezdin, Sai outside of Bezdin. The Piatzma. Mashra, he himself did the shvur, not nobody else caused him to do a shvur. V'chayovim al zdoino makois v'al shgegoso korban oil leviyoyim. First did it b'mezid, gets malchus. He did it b'shoigeg, korban. That's was bitu. That was bitu. Shvur shav, neged ba noshim v'noshim, man and woman. Chayger korban, relatives, not relatives. B'ksherim psulim. Kosher is possible in base or in base or outside base. With piatzma, so do on his own. Chayovim was doing no makos. He did it amazing against markets. Raj Gagosa potter. There's no Shavuos bitui but Shavuos Shabbat. There's no Oliviyari but Shavuos Shabbat. Now the Mishnah adds now something that seems to be contradictory. Chadzu v'chadzu amushba v'pi acherim chayav. If it was mushba by somebody else, it's chayav. We just said a second ago mushba piatzma. Here, suddenly you add Piacher in the end, the Gemara is going to explain. Says the Gemara Ketzat, that's why the Bach adds over here. Omar lechalti ayoyim lenat tefillin ayoyim. So I didn't eat today, I didn't put on tefillin. So tells him his friend, Nashbiya achoni, are you doing a shvur? Omar amein, so yes, amein, chayav. Amein makes a chayav. Says the Gemara shvur koloi neomen achar shvur, kemoitzi shvur mipiv domi. Someone says amen for a shvur, is like saying shvur, just saying amen. If the person says you want to do a shvur, he says amen, that's a shvur. Tichtiv amar isha amen amen, that's what the woman does when the kohen makes a Allah, when the woman is doing, it was a soit. I'll bring our ride for a mission of Brisa together. Tani, so the beginning is funny, he's going to get back to our Mishnah after bringing this ride. First we start with this ride. Tani, next stop, Shavuos Eidus neges ba noshim v'loi b'noshim. Eidus is only by man, not by woman. People that are not relatives. Only kosher light. Only someone's royal light. Ubifnei bezin v'shaloi v'nei bezin. If he did a shvur and bezin not bifnei bezin, he piatzma. If he did it on his own. If it's somebody else, meaning someone telling you owe me a shvur, and he says, you should testify to me. He says, I don't know it. He says, Mashbiachon, he says, Amen. So then it can be, it has to be done in Beis. That's what I mean. That's the Mishnah. Tell everybody, so Shavuos Eidus, Ketzad, what Shavuos Eidus? Amal Eidin, Bo, we do, he tells Eidin, come testify to me. Shavuos Sheinu Eidin L'Chaydus. They said, we don't know Eidus, we don't give you a Shavuos. Or Shamru, Ein Anu Eidin L'Chaydus. Or they told him, we don't know Eidus. Mashbi'ani Aleichem, so can I do a Shavuos? Ramu Amen. Ben Bifnei Bezin, Ben Shaloi B'nei Bezin, sides of in Bezin or outside Bezin, if Bi'atzu, if Bi'acher is not, they did it on their own, or he told them to do that, so the Chayav. So the Brisa, it's a steer to the Mishnah of the Brisa. The Mishnah told us that if you do it Bi'acher, it needs to be done in Bezin. The Brisa says if you do it Bi'acher, it doesn't have to be done in Bezin, it can be outside Bezin. Steer. So tomorrow, Kasher Adadi. Hello, Shvami don't know. Amen. The Lord no. Amen. Shvami no. I mean, I said before he said Amen. That's the Mishnah talk about he not say Amen. So therefore, only in basic, someone could have told him, you know, Eidus, I don't know. Mashbiachani. So even though he didn't say Amen, he's saying it's in front of Beis Din. He doesn't deny it. It's a shvur.
It's still a shvur. You didn't say Amen.
Even though it's Amen, it's like
The other guy said Mashpia, he said nothing.
Right, but see, it's like if you're doing it in front of Beis Din, the Beis Din are authorizing it. The Beis Din are giving the authority to tell Mishbeach. They're not just saying words. It's basically instruction of Beis Din. Tell him that he's doing a shvuah. So you tell him to do a shvuah, it works. You have to say amen. Mashayin can buy in the case of outside of Beis Din, it has to say amen. It has to say amen.
Why in front of Bezin? Just because he's beyond there's a mitzvah from Bezin. He has to agree to say the sure. Just like when somebody Bezin says, I don't want to say it. The fact that he didn't say he's not doing it, so he might do.
If what?
The fact that he's not denying doing it. Like you have a
No,
right.
the guy tells him, you know.
Bezin Hashbiyacha, you have a right to say, I don't want to do a sure.
Right, but if he maybe, yeah, if he doesn't do that, yeah. That's Rabbi knows. That's the right. Look at our Mishnah. We have a right from our Mishnah too. The Katanish was between next by Noshim, with Noshim, Rechoikim, Rekorvim, Miksherim, Psulim. That's the beginning of the Mishnah. The Mishnah was between by everybody. So the ones that die, that's what we do for the ratio. Katani Seifo, Zevezem, Mushbai, Piacherim, Chayov. In both cases, I mean, Shavuos between Shavuos Shav, Kibim Becherim. And maybe that's the reason one doesn't bring in the beginning, because the raya is not such a strong raya, because you can be doiche, could say, no, we didn't finish it. We said Shavuos Pihatzvai, and then it says it was Shavuos Piachem. But it's not, it's not galat. Because the beginning says Shavuos Pihatzvai, then the end you say Shavuos Piachem. Why you didn't say it together? So the Gemara, Kasha Adad, La Shabina Dona Me Adolona Me. If he said Omein, so then Mushu Piachem is Chayav. And if he didn't say Omein, so Mushu Piachem is Patur. In that case, the even if he was for a Beis Din, didn't say Omein, doesn't work. Doesn't say because we don't have Beis Din only doing with Eidus. You come to Eidus Beis Din. Stam does not work. Hela Shmuel, my Kash, what's the Chiddush of Shmuel? He's telling us to be the Mishnah that way, because you maybe can argue differently. Look at Rashi, last Rashi in the Amud. So Rashi, look at the Mastiz Kavash Volan. Hashvirin the Dav Katnan Piatz, which was between Piacheri Potu. In other words, the fact that the ratio the Mishnah says Atzmo is not a mistake or it's Bedavka. Like Tani Mastiz say Vachatzu Mushu Piachem Chayov, Davka Bonu Amenta, Kektani Bomu Amen, Totemo Orcho, the Milsaktani. Don't say that was just the normal way, but it doesn't love Davka. So I'm telling you the diuk, it's Mashal for Mishnah, is a correct diuk, and therefore this raya, the second raya, is very similar to the previous raya that we said for the next parak. Hanach Shavuos Shtayim, Be'ez Hashem. Let's finish the third parak of Masechet Shavuos, and we'll start the fourth parak on Shabbos Be'ez Hashem.